You work, you make your money, and you are in a moment of life where you can buy more things. You have the conditions to do that because you're working, you're building your wealth, and that's great. That's your merit. Congratulations. And then with those new resources, you start buying things that you wished so much when you were a kid. So we're starting buying those toys that are very specific from something you loved when you were a kid. And of course, this is still relevant. People are still watching or saying it. And then or maybe you're buying video games and buying the things you wanted to play when you were a kid and had no conditions, and you are putting your video game to work in this new fancy and bright TV. And how does it feel? Does it feel the same energy and the same way when you were playing as a kid with your friends and your neighbors around you? That what exactly people are discovering right now and being and feeling frustrated. And why I'm talking about this? Well, there's a new article at The Economist, and the article is titled like that: Adults are propping up the toy industry. Or, in other words, one of the biggest toy sales and the biggest fairs of toys in the world grew 7% this year, driven exclusively by adult buyers. So, adults are the ones buying the toys, it seems. Those people, those professionals, they spend a lot of money buying those things they wanted to have when they were kids and they had no conditions at the time, and now they want to have to bring those dreams alive to feel happy. And unfortunately, they are feeling frustrated because they are not in the past anymore. It's not the same, feeling. It's not the same thing when you try to recover or buy something that you wished in the past. And of course, the focus on this podcast is on your career and your personal and professional development. And I wanted to bring this because I think that we have a big, big, big reflection here about planning our future. And this is something that I always think a lot because I consider myself someone who think a lot about the future, my professional future, my personal future, what I'm making for my family. I am this kind of person. I understand. But there is a trap on nostalgia that make people, think that the emotion they had when in a specific moment of their lives or their careers is going to come back if they buy or they build exactly the same environment they had or the same thing they had in that moment, and that is not true. And unfortunately, this is the same kind of thing or the problem when you put all your thinking, your energy on the next thing. So you're always thinking on the next course you are going to take, the next role you wish to have, the next company you want to join, the next team you want to build, and never where you are right now. So your energy is always going to something that do not exist still, or that existed in the past. That is the case with the toys, and you are not concentrated in the present. What is the big issue here? When you go to school and you start, your first experience with people around you talking about what is coming, you realize that, oh, life is going to be so much better when I go to the university. So that is my next step. And then you go to university and discover that you have many years to go and you need to find your first job. And then, wow, great. Then that is where I'm going to find happiness. I need to finish university, or before that or around that, I'm going to find my first job. And this is where things are going to be great. Then you go to your first job. And what you discover is that actually your career has some ladders that you need to grow. So you have this analyst number one, number two, number three, and then you're going to become a leader of the group. And then at some point, you're going to become a manager or a specialist in a technology. And then you discover, okay, so this is all this time I was thinking that it was something different. Oh, this is where happiness is going to be for sure. I need to go to this kind of role. So this is the trap that we have in front of us for eternity if you keep thinking like that. There will be always something that we want to achieve, something better, something that is like bigger, more, the new kind of role, the fancy new title. and you put that in front of you all the time, not being able to reflect what is exactly that is moving you right now on the journey. Because it is exactly on the journey that we can find happiness. You know, there are many great books on happiness, and I think that one of those that I actually enjoyed is the one written by Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. It's a very hard name to pronounce, but I will put in the. You're going to find it. I know the name of the book is Flow, and I don't know how much you're familiar with the concept of flow, but flow it's something almost mystic, but this is explained very well by science, that happen when you are so connected with what you are doing right now. So let's say you love writing music, okay? So the moment you put yourself in front of the paper or on a white screen thinking about an inspiration you had and you start writing the lyrics, this moment you don't see time around you, don't see what is happening, you don't even see if it was like 30 minutes or 2 hours doing that. You just go, you just flow through the activity. And this kind of feeling that you have doing that, it's what can be explained as a moment of happiness. You are doing something that you really like, but you are also challenged by that somehow. So it's not something super easy. It's not something like you're going to do and then you'll be bored after some time because it's so easy. This is the kind of thing that make people feel happy in their work. They feel the challenge is something that they need to think, they need to work hardly to make it work, but it's also something that they enjoy to do. It can be something connected to our careers, but maybe you are feeling bored all the time because your work is so easy or you don't like what you do, and you are missing the opportunity of something called present that will never come back. The future, it is in front of us, and then we have the past that is already over, and we cannot come back. Buying the toy that you wished in the past is not going to bring the past back to you. Buying the video game you wish to play when you were a kid and had no money is not going to bring that feeling back to you, no matter what you do. And this is something that if you don't take seriously to your career, you are going to spend 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years working your whole life doing things, always just expecting the next or the future promotion to happen. And I invite you to a reflection here, because moving and having your journey only thinking on what is coming, unfortunately, science show that, but also people who write biographies in the end of their life, they also show that that is a waste of the most prestigious and the most incredible moment that you have. That is your present, the moment you are living right now.